So viewers, we have now come to the Purana Qila, also known as the Old Fort in Delhi. This is a plaque here which states that the Qila was originally made by the Pandavas, as you can see. But in the year 1538, Sher Shah Suri remodeled the Qila and he restyled the whole thing, which was originally a Hindu structure, thereby making it an Islamic structure. That was the whole idea of the Qila to be remodeled. And then of course there was other history which is of not much relevance to us. And as you can see in front, we have the Qila seen on this side with gardens on both the sides. And we're gonna go further up and see nearby as to how it looks. And we go ahead. Thank you. Okay, so this is the old fort, the gate of it. I've been showing you a lot of forts in mud, in Mumbai, in Vasai, Gorai and so on. Today we are in New Delhi and we are showing you the old fort, as you can see. Now we come closer and you can see the beauty of the fort, the way it is. And this is the red stone fort, the way the fort used to be made, you see, in those days. Not the stone fort which you saw with the Portuguese people. Now, here we are, we can feel the stone. It's a very sturdy, strong stone which goes back almost more than 500 years. And if you notice here on the inner side, we have these strong wooden doors. Look at them. They have been kept intact for the last 500 plus years. And this is the beauty of this. The wood has not gone rotten or anything and is still intact. And we can feel the door over here, how it is. Even these things, we don't know whether these are recent, but maybe it looks quite recent, but never mind. But this is the original craftsmanship of the workers during those times, you see, with the iron attachments to the wooden door. And these are really huge if you look at it. In today's terms, to make such a gate, so as to say, would cost you around at least Indian money, $1 million per gate. This is the cost it might have got involved. So this is on the side of the main gate, as you see, little formations. Maybe it was for the troops to be sitting inside. And that is the part of the old fort, the way it is. Of course, it must have got transformed into a kind of safety feature for the Mughals who renovated the place, ideally. And that's how it is on this side as much as on the other side, which is not so well built. But still it exists there. And now we'll go on the inner side where we see the real fort. And I'll update you further. Thank you. Yes, this is the approach to the real fort. You can see the nice greenery and everything. I must say this is one place which is reasonably well maintained. Unlike other places, I think this is really wonderful. The place is maintained. I'm pleased that something good is being done here. Thank you. Okay viewers, we have here a so-called mosque or a masjid which has been made. And you can see on the left and on the right the way it looks. Quite interesting. The front part seems to have been renovated recently. The structure at the back, the circular structure, the dome, so as to say, that is probably the original one. And I can for sure imagine this was probably a temple, as far as I can imagine, which has been converted into a mosque. That has been the tradition of the Mughals in India, to destroy the Hindu culture and religion. And that's probably what they've done here too. They wouldn't change, would they? That's how it looks from here. And it's probably shut at the moment. I don't think prayers are conducted here. And that's the original gate again. Yeah. If you observe closely, again, we find that the carvings on the stone are Hindu. And this is supposed to be a mosque, again denoting the kind of evil and the kind of desecration that took place years ago upon Hindus. And yet it stands. What a greatness of the Hindus not to get rid of history, because we can see the pain of the Hindus for all these years. Masjid made by Sher Shah Suri. That is the front entrance, as we saw. And I don't really think it's a functional masjid, not that namaz is being offered here. Doesn't look like it. It's under protection of the Archaeological Survey of India. The construction on the top, if you observe, derives from an original Hindu temple. The jharokas, so as to say, came from the Hindu culture. Now he must have modified it to convert into masjid to show the prowess of Islam and to belittle and demean the Hindu construction. That's quite likely, but never mind. What we see here is a mosque, as you see, and with the front door, etc. And in front here is a kind of a deep well which might have been made in those days to draw the water out, but the water has all got dried up now, so the well remains. And there is a beautiful view of the city at the back, as you can see. And well, that's about it to talk on this monument here as we are in New Delhi. Thank you. So this is the inside part of the masjid, the way Sher Shah built it. You can see the somewhat mundane kind of decoration. It's nothing exceptional because this was converted basically from the original structure. But as you can see, it's a very basic kind of doors, everything, with a little bit of carving. As we see nearby, if we come closer, we can see the carving here, which probably, I'm not sure, but it could be some kind of text, is some kind of figures. It's quite possibly Islamic because the way it's written, but in a very decorative manner. And we have the door here and everything. And this, of course, is very much in Arabic script, all of it. And here is equally in their own script. So this was modified to be the way it is now. And this structure is very common in most of the Mughal monuments where they do this kind of stone carving. It's very popular. You must have noticed there is no figures because it's banned in Islam to show figures. They can only show geometric patterns as per their thought process, which is different to the rest of the world. But never mind. It's interesting to point out, viewers, please pay attention to the fact that even this masjid has those jharokas there. Look at the corner over there. Very carefully, you can see in a zoom form if necessary. We can show you in a zoom form how the structures are there. The same thing repeats on the other side, and all the four corners of the pillars here, the jharokas are there, which ideally come from the original Hindu architecture. It's a combination of, you can say, original Hindu architecture brought back with the Islamic architecture. Even that is a jharoka, if you look at it, the little door on top. That is ideally the jharoka, which you see in Jaipur, for example. You see them in Hawa Mahal in Jaipur and so on. And that's a classic example of Hindu architecture. And this got converted to a mosque. Yet again, the same thing I have to say is, this was converted into a masjid basically, not that it was originally a masjid. Thank you. This is the Sher Mandal, the structure made for Humayun. It seems Humayun was standing on top of the floor and without realizing, he slipped from the top and fell to the ground. He was badly injured and he died within 3 days. That's the history to this little thing called Sher Mandal. Thank you. So viewers, we have finally come to the so-called Old Fort of Delhi. It is also known as the Purana Qila. This is the length of the Qila, if you see, going from there to there. Nothing big deal, nothing special about it, but it has been glorified so excessively as though it's a big deal. Well, it's not. It is a remnant of something which was taken over from our Indian heritage. Regardless, this is how it looks and this is how it was. I don't know how strong it was, but that's what it looks like, a fort and everything. And I don't have much to say over here, and you can see what we've seen at the moment. And fine, that's about it. It's over. The fort is over. Delhi Fort. Thank you.